we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's markets in the morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Friday, September 15th, 2023. This is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, the stock market, Bitcoin price chart, altcoin market. Look over there at any type of financial news that is going on. Take a peek over there at metals and, of course, the dollar to see what's going on in markets as we get ready to kick off the day. Today is Friday. It's the last day of the week that the stock market is open. Of course, Friday, man. It's Friday for everybody. Rock and roll. Hope you guys have had a good week. I know the start of the week started off pretty wild there on Monday with kind of a capitulation happening throughout the market. And then things kind of settled down throughout the rest of the week. We really just kind of had green throughout the week as it's been just kind of chilling. Today, a little bit of mixed over here in the cryptocurrency market, but still holding steady. Stock market opening up right now. Let's take a peek over there as we are getting going really quick. You can see the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 55 points, down 0.16%. The S&P is down 15 points, which is 0.35%. And the NASDAQ is down 55 points, which is 0.36%. So down about 1/3% to kick off the day, the last trading day of the week for the stock market over there. Bitcoin sitting over here at 26,419. Like we just mentioned, market's kind of flat throughout the whole thing. You got some stuff up, some stuff down, but really mixed between the two. Notably, Bitcoin at 26,400. Notably, XRP is in the green, up about 1% today. We are going to keep today's markets in the morning relatively brief because there's not a whole lot of big changes that have happened between yesterday and today. And I've got a lot of things that I'm working on over here on my side. A little less spicy than we were yesterday. But we'll get through this stuff. And then I'm going to wish you all a wonderful weekend to finish up some content that I'm working on. And we've only gotten one video out this week. So try to work on something to at least try to get something out either this afternoon or at least be able to release it tomorrow morning. So we'll get through markets in the morning quick today, guys. Then we'll get on our merry way and enjoy our Friday to enjoy the weekend. All right. Bitcoin, 26,431. Leader of the morning, you got 0x up there at almost 6%, with optimism up about 3% and Bitcoin Cash about 2.5%. Let's look over at the stock market, because the stock market news today, I guess we've got, somebody's been bringing it up frequently over here in the chat, the United Auto Workers, right? Is that what it is? United Auto Workers union strike started today, and that's going to impact, who's that going to impact? It's going to impact GM, Ford, and Stellantis. So out of the 145,000 UAW members, about 12,000 of them are on strike today. So that's going to impact probably auto. I don't have GM on here. But yeah, that's pretty much the news going on today. So anyway, we'll see what emerges from that. People ask about Ford quite often. With Ford, the reality is you just look at it on a really big time frame. There's your Ford chart. There's the bubble pop from back in 1999, 2000. There you have it. It's been sitting on top of its 200-week moving average, I believe, for like a year. There you go. Looking for technicals, there's kind of your technical level. It still just sits right there on top of it, and it's been sitting there since June of last year. So we'll see if that thing ends up breaking or ends up holding. Don't know if the strike will be anything, or if really prices just stayed low, and kind of anticipating that this event was actually going to be coming here in for the last year or so. We'll see what happens there. But back to markets, looking at the Dow, continued. These are the things that we're always talking about over here. Next week's our big week, right? That's the one that really I think the whole market is paying attention to. I don't think the market really cares about any news between now and between next Wednesday. So next Wednesday is when we're going to have the Fed interest rate meeting. 97% chance still that they are going to be paused. Let's see if that is updated. I did this pre-market, and now the market's over, still sitting at 97% probability that the Fed is going to be paused overnight repos 2 days ago had popped up and then now popped back down again. So the reverse repurchase agreement market has still continued to drain. Sometimes we overlay this on top of our charts here. Let's see if I have it sitting right there. I do have it sitting right there. So that continues to drain down and down and down. Nothing has changed there on this whole thing. As you guys know, this is where Bitcoin peaked. Once this facility was opened, it has been draining like crazy lately. All right. XRP, a little bit of a pop today. Now getting back up. I think it hit 50, didn't it? Yeah, hit 50.5 cents this morning. Now cooled off. Anything else big to talk about in here? It looks like stocks. It looks like Dow recovering a little bit, while the S&P and the Nasdaq are pushing further now that the day is getting opening. So the leaders of this morning are Roblox and United Health. Losers of the day are Amazon. Then you have Ford down 1%, down about 12 cents. Which I think is actually better than what it was in pre-market. As we just mentioned, the UAW strike does impact Ford. They were down more than that during pre-market, so a little bit of a bounce back happening there. We'll see how that progresses throughout the day. Otherwise, as for crypto, I mean, that's the reason most people tune into this channel is with crypto. Not a lot to say after bouncing off those lows. You can kind of draw your own conclusion on how long we're going to have to range in here, or if you think it's going to shoot straight back to the upside in the event, which I'm not going to predict that it is, but in the event of it shooting straight back up to the upside, you could just kind of look to last time we got into this trading range over here, right? What happened? 3 days up, paused out right here for 1 day, and then continued, right? If we had 3 days up, we're literally back in that range again. So I don't know if I'm in the camp of things are going to move at that type of velocity or not. I probably want to see things play out a little bit more, but definitely expected that there should be some, just slowing down in here at some point. I think the thing we can all wait for to see on the weekend is, do we see a continuation happen after this? Otherwise, pretty tame day in the market after the insanity, or pretty tame week in the market after the insanity on Monday. I think that's where most of the wrong footing happened in the market, was there on Monday, and I'm glad to see we are beyond that. As for the DXY, we'll zoom out a little bit. Still just sitting up here. Not a whole lot has changed in here. Small bearish divergence is emerging on the daily time frame, but nothing. Everything is about 106. That's what we recorded. I recorded the video and I've talked about in markets in the morning. Bigger movers today would be big bounce back over there in silver and in gold. So you can see that over here on gold. You got a pretty decent move happening with gold to start the day off, and silver as well. Let's take a look at silver. So silver has actually come back down and hit its 200-week moving average repetitively. I watched this yesterday. I watched it go down. I'm like, dang, man, this is the third time it's now hit it. And then whoop, right back off of it again. And it just keeps to be doing it over and over and over again. So we'll see about that. Otherwise, heading into the week, I think just kind of settling down now after the capitulation there on Monday. I think we've kind of beaten it with a stick. That the perception of the market right now, everybody's looking. Not everybody, right? That's a generalization. The consensus among like sentiment and where the majority wants lower prices, but I don't think that the majority really understands what lower prices technically mean over here on the chart. So I've put together videos. Maybe I'll put together something a little bit nicer in regards to content rather than so aggressively spicy. But yeah, so that's really it for today, guys. There's not a whole lot to say. You got a strike going on there. Maybe we can look at the news. News, what do you got? The thousands of UAW members go on strike at 3 key auto plants. GM sweetens the UAW offer to include 20% wage increase and other benefits. Everything you need to know. C19 vaccines are available, everybody, just so you know. ARM jumps. But first of all, that's not a promotion for anything. I know that's a hot topic, so it's cracking a joke. And flu vaccines are available. United Auto Workers call unprecedented strike at all 3 Detroit automakers. Stock futures waiver amid $4 trillion options event. Oh yeah, today is options expiration day too. I do know that just because I've been looking at options. There's actually the chance for some serious volatility today. It's September 15th. I know a lot of options expire today. So, okay. Stock futures waiver amid a $4 trillion options event. The markets wrap. Why U.S. car makers have gone on strike. Okay, all that about the strike. Check this out. Look who's on the front page of Cointelegraph. Homie, John Deaton. Look at that. I've eaten lunch with this guy. XRP lawyer John Deaton joins the library cases. Amicus Curiae. Bitcoin price shows textbook Wyckoff moves as Bitcoin bulls defend 25K. Polygon 2.0, Matic conversion to Paul. Okay, I haven't followed any of that. I didn't even know that was happening. Outlined in preliminary improvement proposals. Decentralized stablecoins could dominate crypto. Bitcoin price targets 27K as Bitcoin bulls shrug at PPI inflation surprise. Did the Bitcoin bulls really shrug at it? Or did the stock market shrug at it? Because the stock market was up. The Dow was up over 300 points yesterday. So part of me thinks it was the stock market. So we did have an up week this week so far, barring any type of insanity to finish off today. Hey, look at that. Ford's in the green, everybody. Everybody trading that newswire, right? That's the hard thing about trading the newswire. Anyway, stock market was up this week. Now it's next week looking for that. Again, this is still going to be the thesis unless if a lower low gets taken out there at 33,600, that we're on the verge of the big event, the big euphoria of markets, and to watch out afterwards. And we'll reiterate that as we get closer. But there you go. You got silver going. You got the news being about Ford and GM, but Ford stock seems to be doing just fine. Bitcoin slightly down, but only $64. XRP up about 1% today. And I think that really just covers it. Not a lot. If we had like dramatic price action or some like resistance breaking or something, but it's more like we've had 3 solid days happening here in a row. Today's been kind of a pause out day. And now we're all going to be getting ready for next week. So like get your rest, enjoy life, have a nice weekend, and then get ready for next week. Because typically that's where all the volatility is. It's before, during, and after on Wednesday. So we'll see markets kind of prepare themselves on Tuesday to align themselves for any type of uncertainty on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, if they've mispriced themselves, they reprice. And then on Thursday, we get more repricing. So that's typically the way that it usually goes on those Fed weeks, volatile weeks. But Bitcoin, now that the markets are getting open, getting real close to getting back into the positive. It's only down $39 so far today. And let's look at the stock market. The Dow down 51 points, with the S&P down 20 and the NASDAQ down 118. So the NASDAQ is slipping further. It's down about 0.75% with the S&P down about 0.5% and the Dow down 0.13%. But the funny thing is with Ford slipping into the green here today, that was one of the big fear news for today. One rough weekend, he says, can you look at others? You got to ignore others when it's having these types of days. These are always the weird ones. When TradingView is kind of doing whatever they're doing, it's definitely not accurate. Others up 13%, total 3 up 5%, total 2 up 3%. These are in total up 1%. Mathematically impossible. Just even for total to be up 1.4%, you'd need Bitcoin to be in the green, and you would need Ethereum to be in the green. You just need both of those. So this is an issue. This is API issues or whatever it is with TradingView. It is not some secret, like the XRP community does all the time, right? It's not some secret insight into the institutional investor world where they're secretly pumping money and showing us the cards ahead of time. No, this is just TradingView acting funky. Just don't worry about it. And then tomorrow when this says like negative 15%, don't worry about it. It's just gonna correct itself. All right. So I'm trying to think if there's anything really to touch on. I think it's just, nice that, prices are higher than they were. at the beginning of this month. I think that's the kind of the thing that we can at least celebrate somewhat this week as we get ready to head into the weekend. We started the week with ultimate fear, right? We had been stuck and bored for so long. Now we're positive for the month and we're above the range that we were in for the last couple of weeks. I'll take it, man. I'll take it all day. Otherwise, as for stocks, there's nothing huge going on with stocks. We'll see if things get volatile because today is options expirations. If you don't understand what options expirations are, just like in super simple terms, when you buy an option, let's say like you're going to bet that you say, all right, I'm pretty much you're buying stocks like on leverage with 100x leverage practically. And you say, I expect price to get to this particular level by this particular date. And so like if I said that I thought NVIDIA was going to fall, and I looked at the NVIDIA chart and I said, I think it's going to fall by $20 and I think it's going to happen by September 15th. Right? Say I thought this a month ago. I think it's going to happen by September 15th. My option would be, I could buy it. I'd pay a certain premium for that. And then by the time we get to September 15th, so long as the price is below where I thought it would go to, I'll get paid. But if the price doesn't close below my options expiration strike price, then my option will expire worthless. So anyway, the concept is you're pretty much making a bet on where price will be by a very particular date. And so today, those strike prices, it sounds like there's a tremendous amount of them today. So the market is going to adjust itself accordingly, and we're going to, for whether or not those strike prices are going to get hit for however much there is. I mean, we can take a peek at that. Is it going to tell us on here? I doubt it. It doesn't even say that. It doesn't even say anything about it. Okay. Anyway, it's going to, there's a lot of strike prices out there that are set to expire today, it sounds like. All right. We're going to jump into the chat. I've been working all morning. I don't know what you guys have been doing, but I'm knee deep into a topic right now that I'm discussing in some content, and prices are pretty stale. So bounce off the lows from Monday. Enjoy your weekend, you guys. Everything is fine and dandy so far. And even XRP has just been continuing to march up a little bit. So nothing crazy happening in here. My suspicion is we could still stay in here for a couple of days, but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's likely the conclusion in here. The next move for XRP would be to shift back up to the top of this range. Shift it to the top of that range, waddle in here, then off into the next one. So that'll be the first thing to celebrate. If we do see the price of XRP get back to 54 cents, I don't think we're going to see these prices anymore. And I think that the uptrend will have begun. I think there's a good chance it likely already has. But the confirmation of it for me will be getting back to 54 to 55. I then think we'll stall there, and then we can shift our way back up. That's a pretty common corrective structures to have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending right in here, and then that's the confirmation. So I think we're good. I think we all just enjoy our weekend. It's been a wild week. All right, jumping into the chat. Oscar Hernandez, my dude, thank you. Gives 5 BCB memberships. Thank you so much, my brother. Every single day, man. You're like the first one, dude. I always appreciate it. Michael J. Love with the super chat says, hit the freaking like button. Thank you, Michael J. Love, because I always forget to ask that. You guys are on it. Thank you. Philip Mann, member for 3 months. Good morning, fam. And Philip Mann gives 5. Dude, thank you, man. Daniel, hello, sir. Do you think silver can behave as a hedge against the stock market collapse? What's your thoughts on silver long term? Appreciate your time. So silver, I almost kind of think of silver as like an altcoin to gold. That's what I would consider it as. It's like an altcoin. Gold is like your Bitcoin. Silver is your altcoin. Um, a hedge against a stock market collapse. It's a very difficult one to know how silver would behave. We can elaborate on that. I've written a lot of topics on, the inverse relationship between gold going into a bull run and the stock market going into a bull run. Whenever one goes breaking out into a new all-time high and one goes raging and starts a legitimate bull run, the other one performs really poorly. It's just like that throughout history. It's like not a debatable topic. It's unequivocal. The charts just all prove it, right? Either one goes into a bull run or the other doesn't. They can sit here and range together and behave all crazy in a range together. It doesn't matter. But once one breaks out and goes into an actual bull run, the other one doesn't. And if we are on the verge of an event like this, an event like, if you say Great Depression, like we can do the extreme, right? And you say we're on the verge of Great Depression, we don't know how it will perform. Because when we had a event of that magnitude in the 1930s, gold's price was fixed, silver's price was fixed. So we don't really have a way to understand how it would actually behave in that event. Now, what we know is once we got to the bottom, the U.S. government made everybody sell it back to them, and then they remarked the price of gold up from $20 to $35. So it seems like there was demand for it, right? But there was if we look at the actual chart of gold, I don't know if I'm going to get it. They sometimes will do it on these ones, even though we obviously didn't have gold futures back then. Here. Notice we're fixed, right? So we're fixed all throughout 1836. Here we go. We're all the way up until the 30s, and there you go, 34, 33, 34, boom, it gets repriced, right, to 35. So we don't know, and like you can overlay the Dow. Right, so like, how would it have done during this moment in time? We don't know. But once we got down here, the government said, give it all back to us, and then repriced it. So, would it have doubled in value? Would it have gone on some massive bull run during that? Possibly. And like you can look at right, we go. The Dow Jones is in a long sideways range. Gold goes into a huge bull run, right? The Dow leaves this range and goes off into a bull run, right? And what happens when the Dow leaves the range? Gold goes into a bear, right? So gold goes into a bear from 1980 until 1999. So bear market for gold as the Dow is in a massive bull run. The Dow tops out right here, right? What happens with gold? It starts its bull run, right? So then you have the Dow going into a broadening wedge, right? Finally, once it breaks from the wedge and starts its bull run, what happens? Gold breaks down, right? So you got the Dow just stuck here in this range again, and you go into a bull. And then what happens when the range gets left? Break down, right? So, the question is, what happens in the event of like a big crash, right? Let me do this. Right, if you do end up getting that. Your question is about silver, and we'll get to that. There can be periods of volatility, and I should go back to the gold chart. When you look at like the great financial crisis, notice that in this time period right here, right, that was awful. gold did fall during this kind of extreme time period of the great financial crisis, right? But obviously it was still in an uptrend, right? So it was more of kind of like a pullback to backtest a breakout level happening in here for gold. But we did see it like pull back here during the great financial crisis. But the broader move up still continued happening in here. Let's go back to other ones. Right during this fall, hard to say. It's more like one was rounding out its top while the other is rounding out its bottom. But okay, so kind of give you an idea. It's hard to say, like in a liquidity event, like, okay, and then let's go to C19, right? You could see we still have the liquidity event happening here in gold during C19. So there's definitely like it just because like things crash, it doesn't mean the liquidity event doesn't impact gold too. So gold can get impacted by that liquidity event at the same time, but the broader trend still continued, right? But there was the impact of the liquidity event on gold. It's much smaller on gold. Like if you pointed to it and said, "Hey, where's the C19 crash?" It's right there, right? But those liquidity events do seem to impact the price of gold. So let's go ahead and overlay silver now. Silver's going to move with gold, right? So it's kind of like an altcoin too, right? So like, let's hide this. Right, so there's your peak. Here's the breakout of the peak and the confirmed breakout really happening right here in September of 2009. Notice, like an altcoin, silver stays very low and then doesn't start surging to really kind of late stages of the gold bull. So if I was to guess, how would silver behave in the event of a bull run? It would likely be one, either during the actual breakout happening here, like we typically see in Bitcoin, where you see, it takes off, gold takes off and flies, and silver takes off with it too during that breakout into the all-time high. Or two, gold leads the way for a long time until it starts getting to kind of peak, it starts getting near its end, and investors leave gold and jam it all into silver. But how it would behave in the event of a liquidity crisis is the concern. And I don't know if we'll have a liquidity crisis, but if we do, and they don't seem to be fully immune to them. So like here's the 08 crash for the Dow Jones and the stock market, right? So that's kind of a blip here for gold, bigger move here for silver, right? But there's kind of your alt season for silver happening right here near the end of gold. So I don't know. I would think keeping an eye on gold is probably the most important. My thoughts are kind of silver is just the altcoin to gold. I probably own an equal amount of both. Pretty close at least. But as for like long term, I think it's just going to depend on what happens in that moment. Like I think that's the big thing for me. It's about if the stock market does top, as the theorizing to happen in here. You still have it. There you go. If the stock market does top in here, how do metals react to that? That's the first thing for like long term, is to see how do metals react to that. If it breaks out into new all-time highs, I'd have to then start measuring. Then it starts becoming, oh my gosh, is the sky the limit on these things? But we don't really know exactly how it would behave in this event, because this is exactly the same height as how high we went during the roaring 20s before the Great Depression happened. It's a 4.236 extension of the Great Financial Crisis, and we don't have the historical data to know exactly what would have happened to the price of gold and to the price of silver during this time period because the prices were fixed. So we don't have a reference point to go back and look at. The only things we have to go look at are like things like this and things like this, in which they were already in uptrends. And these events, these liquidity crisis events, did impact gold and silver, but they didn't impact them on their broader upward trend. But there were impacts that happened in these moments. So kind of waiting on that. Maybe when we get up here, like this is it kind of happens is maybe we see gold go in for the big massive breakout. We see silver go for a breakout, and the initial liquidity event is more of a back test when that happens, right? But we'll have to kind of wait and see. All right, I'm moving on from gold and silver. But thank you, Daniel. Andy Philpott gifted 5. Oh, thank you, Andy. I appreciate it, man. I was thinking of Philip Mann earlier. Andy, appreciate it, brother. Tattooed Bandit. Hey, BCB, given FTX impact on Solana last year, what technical indicators are you seeing Solana's price movement, and can you share your thoughts on its future potential? God bless, my friend. I haven't been paying too much attention to Solana lately. I know that there's still a lot of activity on Solana, so I don't think it's dead. Solana's crash reminds me exactly of Ethereum's 2018 crash. So just so you'll know, the crash that you have seen in Solana is of similar size and magnitude and structure and behavior of exactly what Ethereum did in 2018. So I've gone through that a lot too. The depths of how far it has fallen is exactly how far Ethereum fell in 2018. So I wouldn't count Solana out completely. They do have a big reduction in development activity, but there's still a lot of activity on there right now, and I believe still lots of NFT activity on there too. And I don't think they're dead just yet. As for future potential, I wouldn't have the answers for you on that. But as for like Solana's price, so this is a good example as well, where we talk about things of like Bitcoin to sub below the 2018 lows, right? We've shown Ethereum do this, and you can see Solana had done it. People say, of course, it's absolutely impossible for Bitcoin, but I don't think it is impossible. We'll get rid of everything. Goodbye. Right? Then break, right? Break. So doom. Right. And so now it's just in like this long phase in here. So whether or not does it need to spring, right? Does it need to spring back to the lows again? In here, we'll do a percentage measurement on it too. %. I think is 94. 94.4. So sounds crazy. How could anything move down that far? Well, you saw what happened with Ethereum. It drew down 94.5%. Even Cardano during 2018 drew down 99% and then recovered. It's actually quite common. But we've kind of already seen all of the structures on Solana. And I think the big question is if it's got a spring or not. Where would, you would think, it'd probably already be beyond spring. That spring would have already happened. but that's kind of the thing you have. And so the range is huge. So this range, most people are not capable of handling crypto. They're especially not capable of a range like that. Just to move down to there, it's a 50% loss to close out that gap. Most not capable of handling that. So, and I don't think the answer is really clear on if you're like we talk about it all the time with Wyckoff accumulation, how you can right. So essentially, what do we have? We have the automatic rally, right? Secondary test in phase B, and then now pulling back. Now it's kind of are you going through the creek spring, or last point of support that's going to drag on and torture? I think you could be in either one, and like I've shown. My opinion, I could guess, and the guess would literally be a 50-50. There's no way for me to be able to tell which one are you doing. That's the worst part about the ends of these because you and that's what makes it so hard. You could accumulate it right here, but then it cracks down and breaks, and it had to do the spring phase, or it never gets down there, and you waited the whole time for that 50% crash to come, and it never came. But like I've talked about for a long time, this was structurally doing very mirroring behavior to what we've already seen here in the crypto market before. And I think that's the case for Solana. I wouldn't count it out just yet. The development activity is down, but the development activity is down across the board. However, Solana is down more than across the board. So probably want to keep a closer eye on if that comes roaring back or not. I do believe in this time period, Ethereum was still kind of holding itself up okay, but so was the whole cryptocurrency market. We've really seen a lot of developer abandonment in the crypto market over the last year. The thing to be cautious of, what we've kind of seen with a lot of these coins, though, especially if they've had like a lot of venture capitalist fingers in them, which I think Solana did, is they just want their money back. Right, that's all they care about. They just want their money back, and to get their money back, they'll just push it back into a retrace. They won't push it off into new all-time highs and get it much further beyond that. So I would be real mindful on retrace with Solana, if it ever does come, rather than like it's going to change the whole universe and be the best thing since sliced bread. VCs tend to build the hype, bring it all back, and they just want to get their money back and get out. Digital duds. BCB, we can't measure time, but is it just like XRP reaching the 4.236? It would take 100 years at his... Wait, what? BCB, we can't measure time, but is it just as likely that XRP reaching the 4.236 would take 100 years as it is 1 month? Is there a derivative of time? I think time... I think it's a cheap shot to say, oh, I see I have 100 years. I have my whole lifetime. No, I don't think so. I would say that XRP probably needs to do it before the stock market crumbles on itself, right? Unless people are just going to believe, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think most of the narratives that are pushed out there are in any way based on any reality. They are just for clicks, engagement, affiliate links, all that stuff, and signups and sponsorships, guys. That a lot of the stuff in the narratives of flipping the switch and price targets of $10,000 and all this stuff, this is all just clicks. If you want to base any of your thoughts on XRP on any type of reality, it's going to be based on liquidity flows into the cryptocurrency market. They're typically going to start with the stock market, then they're going to be in Bitcoin, they're going to be in the altcoin market. And that is the 10-year price history of XRP. Why do you think XRP didn't continue any higher after it won the lawsuit? Why did it break during a liquidity event in the entire crypto market where it flushed more leverage than FTX? Why was XRP pummeled in that? I mean, that's the only answer you need. It's tied to crypto. What happened when it broke out in 2017? Bitcoin was breaking out. What did we say the whole time? The only element missing here is Bitcoin is not giving us the signal, right? Bitcoin didn't give us a signal. Bitcoin flushed. The whole cryptocurrency market flushed, and XRP was not numb to that. It participated with that flush. So it's about just seeing the liquidity flows of the whole market. And if we go based on historical performance of the cryptocurrency market, it tends to be following when big liquidity is entering into the stock market. And I could not imagine and then it happens, right? 25 years from now or something like that, right? Historically, that's not the behavior. So I would suspect that, you know, you would need it relatively soon. And all of our models of time of how long these things take to move on tend to give us that it's not a tremendous amount of time for where we are now. And that this would be your shot if this is the event, right? If this thing goes plowing off through here and all my stuff is just wrong, well, then it's probably going to be whatever, maybe more exciting than I think. But I don't think that's the case. I just, you know, good luck taking that gamble at the 4.236. It's just like with Bitcoin, right? Good luck taking that gamble for everybody who's chasing to 100K, right? They're buying at 60K, chasing to 100K. You weren't even chasing 100%. What was the thing that happened with Bitcoin? It got above the 3.618 extension, pulled back, and then went off and hit the 4.236 and then lights out. You know, if we're going to predict time, I don't know how long this is going to take to play out. But I mean, if I had to guess, you know, that it would be within a matter of, it seems like 6 months. But of course, a time is a guess. I mean, everything is a guess, but picking dates and times, there's just no one consistently doing it. And there's no proven method to do it. We can only draw from the past and make guesses based on that. So I definitely, like, let's draw the XRP price chart real quick. What'd you say, 100 years? Oh, that's 40. I mean, I guess, but like, do you think something better will come along in 40 years or 100 years from now? I do. I do. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to answer your question. Like, just like, I think it still is like a when moon question, but it's phrased in like the most intricate way possible. Can we measure the time? BCB, we can't measure time, but is it just as likely that XRP reaching the 4.236 would take 100 years as it would take 1 month? Is there a derivative of time? I think it most likely would have to be with broader micro liquidity flows of the entire market. And I think that, you know, if you get there and it hasn't happened, then you got a lot more time, a lot more time. And I hope people pay attention to data and not conspiracy theories. I saw Matt Moon Lambo post a poll, say something along the lines are conspiracy theories. Is a conspiracy theory true or something like that? And like 70% of people answered that yes, all conspiracy theories are true. It's like, oh my gosh, that's why that does so well. Data is not, you know, sexy. Why did Price not moon when they won the lawsuit? They should have won. It should have gone to the moon on the win of the lawsuit. How many times did we talk about it that could not happen? Right? There's a very good chance. We talked about it for months leading up to it. That it was very possible it couldn't. And then what was the real data? That you literally got the data point put in front of you that Bitcoin did not take off. Bitcoin was not moving up, right? Element that was always missing, right? The most unsexily thing you could say. So that, that there's disappointment in that, because what happens is people have such these vested interests of what they've built in their mind of what everything is. And to realize most of that isn't true is very hard to accept. But if you just look at the data and you say the data's got to tell me when it goes, that's why XRP did not go. It does not have it. Explain to yourself why XRP was impacted during a liquidity crunch in the crypto market. That's the only answer you need. Why would it crumble when an FTX style event happens in the market? Why would it not be independently go do its own thing? That's because it is fully tied to the rest of the cryptocurrency market. The most boring narrative there is. It's fully tied to the crypto market. So, all right, I'm moving on. Cody, can you take a look at TKO Group stock at WWE? Could it be a double tap on top of the previous all-time high? Oh boy, we're looking at wrestling. Yeah, I mean, it could just be back testing the all-time high. If you start plunging. One thing to be mindful of, one thing to be mindful of. You can see it very clearly in here. Higher low, 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 higher, 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 higher. This is the first weekly lower low. Careful. Just be mindful of that. That would maybe be a little bit of concern. It's definitely on top of a weekly support. Definitely. But that's also its first weekly lower low. It has not done that once since C19. Every single weekly low in here, these have all been, I guess maybe on here. Either way, I'd probably be real worried about that one. That one would start giving me big warning signs. But if you slip and lose the all-time high, yeah. I don't know. That'd be my first observation. How are you looking on there? You do have a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame right here, but you've had those small divergences before. But that's the most overbought you got, followed by the divergence. So you got a monthly time frame. Monthly time frame's pointing down pretty hard on the stochastic RSI, so it hasn't pointed down that hard since 2021. So I don't know. I'd keep a close eye on it. If you're like a long-term bull. Things that would definitely scare me is like a loss of 78, but that's 20% away. Either way, weekly wise, you're sitting on top of the all-time high. The only thing is you do definitely have your first weekly lower low. Oscar Hernandez, my man, says, show some love and hit the like button. Thank you, sir. Brandon Hammond, what if BCB is deep state and we are following a guy who's leading us to our own financial doom? It's always possible, and I would respect it. Make sure to get your booster. I don't know why I like that. Maybe, guys. Maybe. I like that. It's always possible, and I would respect it. Thank you, Brandon. Careful, guys. All right, speaking of WWE, who's your favorite all-time wrestler? From Hugh D. It's got to be The Rock, man. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Know your role and shut your mouth. Julian, thank you, Hugh D. Julian Robbins, hey, brother. Will you do a portfolio update as we look towards the next move? Curious to see how it's changed since you've consolidated in 22. Yeah, because I've added so much in the FTX collapse. Dude, I've tried to like Stone Cold. I got nothing wrong with Stone Cold, Steve Austin, right? I got nothing wrong with him. But it was like, when I was a teenager and stuff, The Rock was huge. Like, I even went to, I think he was in WWF then, right? back in like 1999, 2000. I'm pretty sure The Rock. I think it was WW. Right? I think like WWF was the cool one, right? But Julian, yeah, probably once I make move, like once I like start letting go of stuff, in the end, I'm probably, whenever I like really let go of a bunch of stuff, then I'm going to consolidate it down real tight, to kind of ride out the scary stuff. I'll probably update it then. You have to understand, there's no real benefit for me sharing. The bad outweighs the good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many wins you have. What everybody will focus on is your losses. So there's no point in doing it. You don't gain clout from getting them right. You only gain hate from the ones that get wrong. So it's a pain in the butt. But I mean, you guys know a lot of what I own. But I'm real cautious on new stuff that I add. Frank says, do you think we're finally out of the bear market? Well, Bitcoin bottomed over a year ago, or I guess about a year ago. XRP bottomed over a year ago and it's up 100%. It's a slow process to get back. Ethereum bottomed over a year ago. It's a slow process to get back. How long ago was Solana? Solana wasn't quite, right? Solana was December. That's the thing people don't pay attention to. You realize you've been grinding. You've been grinding. Stacen Rob, member of New Month. Welcome. Oscars Hernandezes says, Wyckoff, whale manipulation, or a view of the unintentionally repeating thought pattern of mankind. I have those deep discussions sometimes on stuff like this. Like, is it baked into the mathematical code of the universe and all random things finding balance within themselves? And that, how could it possibly be that, the full measured move of what this 4.236 extension would be the exact same extension of what the Roaring 20s were before the Great Depression? How could it be that, Bitcoin's market cap, Ethereum's market cap, they hit 4.236 extensions precisely, and then boom, rolls over and crashes and crumbles. Is there a baked in balance into the universe, or is it all a scripted simulation, right? Or is it just the market and the world finding balance within itself? I think that question is so deep that I don't know. And I have that conversation often in this abstract way that like our Fibonacci's built into our lives, right? There's like those shells and stuff. They're all like perfect Fibonacci's, right? In nature, right? Animals with the Fibonacci sequence in them. And it's so bizarre. So is it just repeating thought patterns of mankind? And it very well may be. That we just repeat the same stuff over and over again. And why we repeat the same stuff in crypto over and over again. Right? It's the exact same thing that we always repeat. Yeah. Oh no, it's over. We're doomed. It's doomed forever. No, it's never gonna come back. Maybe it's coming. I don't know. I don't think so. Oh my gosh. It's never coming down. We're going to $1 bajillion. Ah, It's dead. It's dead. It's definitely going to $1,000 from here. It's dead. It's dead. Oh my gosh, no, it's going to go to $1 million. Right? No, it's dead. 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 Dead, dead, dead. Oh my gosh, Elon, we're going to $1 million for sure. We're going to 100K for sure. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's all repeating, right? It's all the same behavior over and over again. So I don't know. I don't know how much of it is our emotional, like as a collective group, emotionally having to swing. But a lot of it is, just liquidity cycles in broader markets too. I mean, there's no question on this with crypto. No question. Oh, did you guys see the meme posted on Twitter yesterday? Thanks to Texas sharing that with us. That was so fun. All that spiciness yesterday, man. We just had to throw it on top there. Cesar Mirando asks a when moon question. He says, do you think XRP will hit $10 soon? Waiting for the whole market to move, buddy. Dennis Wayne. Hey, BCB, do you mind taking a quick look at HCA healthcare stock? It seems pretty high to me. Thank you for showing up every day and being there for the community. Well, thank you so much, Dennis Wayne. I've never looked at this chart before. Like I was talking about, it's best to kind of live and breathe within a chart. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Kind of counted a wave. What do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you would expect that if we're on a big time frame, you'd expect that if this was the top, which that's pretty aggressive, as you can see, we haven't looked at any underlying indicators yet. We want to see on the monthly time frame that there's a bearish divergence emerging here, and then on the weekly time frame that we have a bearish divergence emerging here. So what do we already have? We already have our first weekly lower low that has just been set there. That's probably not very good. So let's look at the monthly, right? So the first thing we're wanting to see is there a bearish divergence right here? Massive bearish divergence right here. So the whole thing's been a divergence, but you really got it right there. Next, we're wanting to see, do we see a weekly divergence right here? We do see a weekly bearish divergence happening here and the continued breakdown. My thoughts have been that healthcare, I still don't know what it is and it scares me to death. Healthcare will be the thing that pops it all, because United Health represents so much of the US stock market, of the Dow Jones in particular. That's a bubble, which is scary. Like, when does that thing ever stop? Is that wave 1, 2, 3, 4? Look at the bearish divergence here. That's ugly, right? Yuck. But no, that chart doesn't look good. But I don't know the one that you asked about. Lots of bearish divergences, and you have your first weekly lower low. Probably not good on that one. But I don't know what that is. HCA healthcare stock. Ben. But thank you, Dennis. And thank you for the kind words, saying thank you for showing up every day and being there for the community. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Dennis. Ben, hi. Using April 2021 peak discounting Wix, price is 60K and proceeding low 16K. Does that mean there's already been a 50% retrace as price hit 31K? Well, 31K is 50% of 60K, but that's not what, if you went from 60K down to 16K, what is a 50% retrace of that? All right, so that's how you have to calculate them. So your math, okay, even if you discounted Wix, fine. No, right? We even get rid of all Wix. 50% of 60K to 16K would be 38, right? So you do the math like this. 60 minus 16 equals, so you napkin math, 44, right? So then you do 44 divided by 2 equals 22. So then you do 22 plus 16 equals 38. Right? So you're doing what you're doing with a 50% retrace is you're saying what is 50% of 60,000? But that's as if we went to 0 and then bounced back 50%. That would bring us back to 30, right? But when we go from 60K to 16K, that means we did a total drop of 44,000. So what is half of 44,000? That would mean we would need a $22,000 rise off the low to retrace 50%. So 22 plus the 16 as our starting point means we need to get back to 38,000, which is right here at that 50%. I'm not even saying this is in any way an accurate way to use your fibs by removing, picking and choosing that we're not going to use wicks or not. I don't personally do that. I do use all wicks. But if you were just going to, in your question, in an example, no, that's not 50%. That's 50% of dropping from 60,000 to 0. But that's not 50% of dropping from 60 to 16. But I would not even entertain playing like that. Thank you, Ben. And I'm not picking on anybody. Just I know that this is serious questions. This people have all the time. It's kind of like with trend lines too. I'm not the fan of, hey, we're gonna use this trend line like this today because it works for me. Being like, hey, you know what? I like the way this looks. I can make it work for me if I don't use wicks. If I'm real lenient and like I will use wicks here, but I won't use wicks here, I can then make this thing work out for me. Not a huge fan of that. But I find stuff like that to be crazy when we like do respect it. Like that, where we do respect it and nail it. We do respect it and nail it. That stuff's cool to me. What are you going to draw from that? I don't really know, but it's pretty cool. All right. Thank you, Ben. Spencer, good morning. You mentioned you bought Bitcoin yesterday. Why did you decide to buy Bitcoin and not XRP or a different altcoin for the percentage? Good day, sir. I actually answered immediately after that. It's a very clear setup, right? First of all, my portfolio is at least 88% altcoins, 88%. And my XRP holdings are like 4 times that of my Bitcoin holdings. So this was a very clear setup for me. I've practically beaten it into a bush. I've practically shook everybody, ravishly shook them. This level has to hold. Anybody thinking we're going lower in here, then it's okay. I think you're blatantly wrong, incredibly wrong. And so this has such an easy invalidation level for me that I can take this shot here and grab that right there and invalidate it immediately upon a break, upon a low. So it's super clear for me. So I took a big shot at it. That's it. And XRP is still like 4 times more than my Bitcoin. Pravik, hey BCB. And let's be clear, I don't think the Bitcoin dominance is going much higher. I think it's done. And I'm brutally brutal on that. I don't think Bitcoin dominance is going much higher. Like, and when I say much higher, I mean like absolutely no chance it's going here. It's not going to set another high. It's done. When I say it's not going much higher, I mean like in here, not going much higher. So I'm not some mega fan of Bitcoin that it's going to be surging and the show-stopping event in any way. This was just a simple move for Bitcoin. Hey, BCB, do you think this random altcoin I'm asking you about will hit $1? And this is my first time donating. Well, let me go look at it off screen and see if you're promoting a piece of garbage. Okay. I don't know what it is. It's been around a long time, so I'll give you that. But I'm not comfortable bringing it up on the channel because it's ranked number 450, which means the liquidity on it is so low. The market cap of it is $32 million. I'm not comfortable with that on the channel. And the answer for if it would hit $1, I would probably say hard no. Especially since it's your first time ever donating and you're asking for me to like pump your bag of your rank number 450 coin on the channel. So no. Okay. XRP John. Hit the like button. Thanks, BCB, for your honesty, spicy, and everything you do. I've learned so much in the last 2.5 years. Thank you so much, XRP John. Oh! Nobody reminded me, but XRP John just did. First things first, this is what we'll start here. There we go. He's got a little bit of a morphed head going on, but it's okay. It's okay. There you go, guys. You requested it yesterday. You may have it. And so essentially what we anticipate is that it will go Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance. For show. For sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Sorry to all hopium anticipating anything differently. And what you're hoping for with Bitcoin dominance to go surging to the upside, I think there's not a chance. The thing is done. 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 And I'm not going to go long into that. We've gone through it enough times. There's no point in putting together anything on it. Either you get it or you don't. Oh, that's weird. Whatever that is. That means nothing. Oh, let's play with that. Did they fix that? Okay, they fixed the other stuff, guys. Oscar Hernandez. what do you think about Ethereum Classic? Does it have a place in crypto? And what TA do you see on the chart? See a cup and handle on the weekly. I think it's just going to move with the rest of the market. I don't know if we're ever going to see another all-time high for Ethereum Classic ever again. It's still over there on Robinhood, right? So I don't know. It was an awesome pump in 2021. I don't see anything exciting about Ethereum Classic unless if like you're on the brink of like a retrace happening in there, which is possible. Right? Anytime there's YOLO excitement in the market, so to give you kind of an idea of what you were like in 2018 and where you are right now, that's where you would kind of be with Ethereum Classic. But I don't think Ethereum Classic's repeating itself again. I'd just be more mindful of retracement levels, which, you know, about $100 or so. Dawson Brooks said, you showed a chart of one of your Ledger accounts earlier this year that was very interesting. Have you looked at it recently? Do you subscribe to the newsletter? I don't remember doing it on the YouTube channel. I thought I just did it on... maybe I showed a screenshot of the newsletter on here. Yeah, well, see, here's the problem with that. If you've ever had a Ledger, like my Ledger has been behaving fine, but then like I did an update, and you ever had it on your Ledger where it like deletes everything, and you have to re-add all of your assets? I haven't re-added all of them back yet. But it's pretty much just stuck. It's you know, moved all the way up, just like the rest of the cryptocurrency market, moved all the way up and stuck. Right? Ethereum hasn't moved. Bitcoin hasn't moved. Nothing's moved in 5 months. So it's all still at the same levels. No Shandy says, loving your insights for a long time now. Fingers crossed for this run. What's up with the total charts today? You asked that. Let's see, how long ago was that? It was 20 minutes ago. They're all updated now. They're all fixed. Eden. Hey, BCB, has anything changed for you regarding new all-time high prices for BCH, Zcash, EOS, Dash, and Litecoin? Well, I pretty much have updated for a year and a half. Nobody changes anything. I've probably been asked 1,000 times. Yeah, EOS has been abandoned. Dash has been called a security. And Litecoin, I don't know. I still have my Litecoin. Dash, I consolidated my Dash into Zcash, which I announced a year and a half ago. And BCH as well, and EOS. So EOS is like entirely abandoned. Now they like some people have started it up, right? I think we've gone through this 1,000 times on this channel in the last year and a half, but yeah, no, I don't know about those in particular. EOS in particular, complete abandonment. Dash, I don't know when it got security status. BCH, nobody's using BCH now. Enough time has passed. You know, is it going to get a network effect? I don't know. I mean, BCH is the strongest out of all of them, right? BCH is one of the strongest out of the altcoin market right now, and it has been. But still, you know, whether or not massive stuff happening, I don't know. I think it's just going to be about watching the rest of the market in the event of this. Yeah, and we talked a lot about Zcash and Monero yesterday. So if you want to watch Markets in the Morning yesterday. But no, I feel like we've beaten that topic for 1,000 times in Markets in the Morning for a year now. Eden. Niall Fernandez. What's up, BCB? What's up, and God bless, buddy. By the way, Bitcoin dominance has taken a massive dip. A glitch, perhaps? Yeah, that was a glitch. That didn't mean anything. But that day will come. The sentiment dev activity on QNT is 0. Thoughts? I don't know. I haven't looked at it. One, I don't own any QNT. I also didn't have any QNT data from developer report either. So I don't have any data to go on. I don't know. It could be that they can't pull it. I don't know. I'd ask Sentiment why that is. Or ask the QNT people, right? There's got to be like a QNT army, right? I know there is. There's people who like show QNT nonstop on X or Twitter. So I'd talk to them. I don't know. But I don't own any QNT. But thank you, Mr. Jace. But Niall, thank you. That was very generous. And yeah, I don't think that was anything, right? And I'm not going to perpetuate the silly narratives of it was a glitch for telling us the future. Man, Silver's really got a good bump there. Right. It's totally it's totally just TradingView acting up, and this happens all the time with TradingView on this acting up stuff. But this right here, the highest I would imagine that you could possibly see in the Bitcoin dominance before it turns over and goes Goblin Town mode on here, would be like right there around 51. That would be like the highest it would get. I my theories have been that we'd get back to like 50.5, 50.79. But maybe not even that high. I think it's totally missed by the market that it's done. I think it's totally missed by the market that the Bitcoin dominance is done. But not be fooled by that. Did I miss another one from XRP John? I thought I got XRP John. T said you missed super chat from XRP John. I thought I got XRP John. Hit the like button. Thanks, BCB, for your honesty and everything you do. I learned so much in the last 2 years. I got that. Okay, cool. T said, oh, my bad. All right. But yeah, for sure. Sentiment dev activity on QNT is 0. Yep, we got that one. It's not often I'm able to wake up for the live stream. However, I'm always watching, always liking, and I appreciate your time. And you're the man, BCB. Thank you. Much love from Antcraptic. Antcraptic. Thank you. Crapic. I've always struggled with your name, and you've corrected me multiple times. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It does mean a lot. Those kind words go a long ways, guys. Dawson Brooks. You showed a chart of one of your ledger accounts. You already got that. We already got that one. Marcel Richards, the super chat, first timer, no message. Then he comes back and he says, he stares directly at the charts, never fooled by the media. His stuff's really awesome. So we're rooting for the blockchain backer. Dude, look at that. Rock on, man. Thank you very much for the kind words. All right. Let's take a look at the markets, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up here because I've got a lot more stuff I'm putting together right now. You got stock market starting to go more in the red. Look at the NASDAQ, down 188 points. Look at the chat. Oh, no, there's red in crypto. Oh, look at the stock market. NASDAQ down 189 points. Dow down 111. S&P down 33. So we're down about 1/3% in the Dow, 0.75% in the S&P, and 1.25% over there in the NASDAQ. Winners and losers. Let's take a look. Ford still in the green, crazy as it is. Coinbase deep in the red. So something going on in crypto in particular. So you got XRP after its big move up this morning and overnight. Now with the pullback happening in here, let's go pull up Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 26,237. There you go. Oh no, the sky is falling. No, man. So, yeah, pullback happening over here in crypto as we're ranging, and will likely continue ranging. I think the thing maybe you could cheer for maybe something maybe starting tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah, you could see the panic already in the chat. You guys. Yeah, that's going to be it, man. We're going to have an emotional crowd for a little while. Okay, I understand. I get it. So just kind of keep an eye. You can do this kind of stuff right here. It's pretty normal. All right, there you go. You still got a bit of green, XRP. Oh, look at that. Back in the green. The sky isn't falling. Another day in crypto, Zach. Exactly. So, all right. I think that the bigger focus is, like we mentioned at the very beginning of the stream, there could be volatility in the stock market today because today is going to be the expirations of a lot of options. And so people are hoping to get their strike prices hit or exceeded, or they're going to sell or buy or do whatever they need to do as we go into the daily close and into the options closing today. So that's going to be a little bit of volatility, and then next week is kind of the bigger one. So probably just a Friday that's going to have to settle itself and get itself appropriately priced for all the options that do expire today, like we mentioned at the very beginning. Otherwise, look at that, half green, half red over here in crypto. Bigger stuff is really over here in the stock market. And surprisingly, out of all of them, who would you think that would be okay? It would be Ford with the, what is it called? United Auto Workers strike that started today. So there you go. Anything else before we get out of here, guys? One thing is, I see people in the chat who have totally panicked over this type of move that has just happened here in 5 minutes. If this causes you to lose your cool, this is not the market for you. You should bail. Or just not look at the charts, man. What just got deleted? Hit the like button. There you go. Look at Alec D78. Don't trust this mini pump. 23K. I've been watching other YouTubers. They've been telling me what's going to happen, and I'm going everywhere and regurgitating it. Ollie, if you're a bull on Bitcoin, you should sell all your Bitcoin if it goes to 23K. Just letting you know. Hey, BCB. Nothing has respected log-based fibs. People are just putting them where they want them to be. I got that question at the top of the market 1,000 times. BCB, why don't you use log-based fibs? Right? It was like, how about we just use linear ones? Why don't we just see what happens here? No, you're wrong, BCB. How many other content creators made YouTube videos about me telling me that was wrong? And that was the dumbest thing ever. The log-based fib stuff. It was so dumb. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I know that a lot of people perpetuate that stuff because it provides moon math. Yeah, but okay, you got to give me better than one example, crypto, right? Crypto Kaku. You got to give me like 50. You know what I mean? You got to give me 10. You can't show me one anomaly chart. It's like saying, hey, this has worked 1% of the time. And due to that 1%, can we hang our whole hat on it that that's going to be it? Arleek D has been watching his 23K YouTube videos. Good luck, bud. He's Brandon Hammond. I got to extract some wisdom teeth. BCB, when is your next drum show? I don't actually have one lined up anytime soon. Frog send for the weekend. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we are at an hour and 25 minutes. I didn't realize that we were that long into it. And I pulled the whole classic thing of, hey, we're going to keep this thing short at the beginning. Have you tried other instruments? No, not really. How is BC Barker 2.0? He's fine. He's fine. And he's now past puppy age. He's now, he's now like almost 3 or something, or just beyond 3. And he's a lot more calm now. BCB, DXYM monthly looks like a disaster is lurking. Does that look right? I've made videos on it, buddy. Just watch the videos, man. We've talked about it so much in Markets in the Morning. We've talked about it in videos all in the last 2 weeks. Light, tight, and bright. All right. Let's take one more look at it, guys, to remind everything. Today, we're going to have options expiring over there in the stock market. Expect some volatility into the closing. Hopefully, things stabilize before we get to the closing. Mixed day over here in crypto. As you can see, there's a lot of people who sold the bottom, and they are still cheering to get 23K. We could see them in the chat. They have totally capitulated the lows as the market hit fear levels on Monday that were that of like an FTX. The fear levels that we had on Monday exceeded that of the banking crisis scare that we had back in March. So there's a lot of people who capitulated and dumped their bags in panic. And prices have moved back up, and they're still cheering for 23K to be able to get back in and not get left behind. I'm sorry if that was you, but that wasn't me. So rooting for things to turn them back around and continue their way up. As for Bitcoin, as we all should know by now, and hopefully I try to provide you all the data on this channel to show you why things can and can't happen throughout history. Lower lows cannot happen. Going to 23K, going to 20K, and as everybody and their grandma is posting, 12K. It absolutely cannot happen in a bull market. So what do we do? If you're a natural bull on Bitcoin and your long-term bias on Bitcoin is bull, it is to hold the low. To go set a weekly lower low is ultimate bearishness for Bitcoin. Sorry. And I think that's the hardest thing that the bulls are coming to grips with. They're overwhelmed with fear that they've probably mistakenly traded this whole thing. One, they sold here waiting for 12K. Didn't buy back in. They bought back in when they were told it was going to $1 million in 90 days. Then they sold, then they bought, then they sold. And now they just have wash traded themselves entirely through this whole thing for the last year and a half. The whole thing for 12K is, okay, I need to make up for all the wash trading losses that I did on Bitcoin in here. I need it to go crumbling down so I could just get one big good trade and recoup all the Bitcoin that I've lost throughout here between wash trading it all. And I just don't think they're going to get it. I think it's the same repeating stuff over again. Do not lose that low. You lose that low, history does not favor you bulls. It does not favor the Bitcoin bulls, and we'll have to revert back to talking about all that Doomtown stuff. But go check my Twitter, go see what I posted. TXMC has been posting stuff too. The writing is clearly on the wall. This level has to hold. You 23Kers, that's just silly. 12Kers, we can't even have conversations. We can't even speak on the same page. Your rhyming has nothing. It's so not based in reality. But okay. AP5, BCB, love the content. What's your thought on Bitcoin spot ETF approval happening? I said from the beginning that this year when it started, this is just a carrot being dangled in front of your nose, in front of your face, and it will constantly be that. And to this day, that's what it still is and will continue to be. It is waved in front of you as if it is something, and it will never, ever be anything. And if it is ever anything, that's the end. All right. LMAO. It's as if you are saying, BCB, that those individuals are royally screwed. You can't have a bullish thesis that goes low, that sets new lows. Like, you just can't have it. There isn't one. There isn't one. It's super, super, super bearish, and not what the bulls are. So like this is the cold hard reality, right? How many people do you see hanging out in crypto who are just overly like, Bitcoin is really stupid. It's going to go to zero. It's the dumbest thing in the world, and it's worthless, and I'm shorting it because it's worthless. No, that's not what they're doing, right? What are they doing? They're saying Bitcoin still has to go to 12K for reasons unknown and then go straight to moon, and I buy there. So these guys are all bulls that are saying that we're going lower, and they just want to buy it, and they think there's this fantasy. This will happen very quickly. It'll be very short-lived, and then it goes to moon and you 10x. That's this fantasy. It's this fantasy, and it comes from screwing up here, 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 and here, and wanting to like make up for it here. It's not going to happen. It's not based in any reality. It's just what they're being. It's just what you have a lot of people on Twitter saying that have large audiences. So people love to run with the herd. Run with the herd. Do what everybody else is doing, and that's where the safety is. Not in markets, dude. The herd is the most dangerous place to be, and you should know that. All right, happy Friday. We're wrapping this mother flauta up before it gets too spicy. King Baba, the Wall Street cheat sheet is a copy of the .com bubble from the NASDAQ, just so you know. All right, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen, at an hour and 30 minutes, one of the longest markets in the mornings that we've had in a long time. Still a mixed day over here in crypto. Keep your eyes over there on the stock market. I'm not worried about the stock market. There's some volatility today. We have all the options expiring. Next week's the big week. This is the big one. How's the market going to respond to the Fed pausing? 97% probability that it will. Overnight reverse repos continue to drain like crazy. This is just a little bit of daily volatility, I think, happening over here in stocks. The only time you'd see me worried about the stock market is should we go take out 33,600? Otherwise, all this stuff is just stuff. We're waiting for next week. And then let the show begin. But all right. Guys, I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. Let me get to these ones real quick. Whiskey Dog. Keep the streams long. I walk and jog as long as you go. Oh, man. Exercise. Right on. Whiskey Dog is a new member. Well, good. Hour and 32 minutes. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Coming off of the lows, you can see still lots of sidelined bulls who are bullish on Bitcoin, but sidelined, waiting to get 10% lower. They're all waiting on the sideline, hoping that they can get it. These are probably the same people who were buying meme coins back here in April, risking it all to lose 50% in a half of a minute. But now they're very conservative, only to get left behind. I think they're going to be. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Enjoy your weekend. All is well in the world. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, follow me over here on Twitter or x.com, which is BC Backer. And it is the only social media that I use. I'm not asking you to send me your crypto. I'm not DMing you. I'm not actively using Instagram or what are they, Threads or Telegram or Facebook or anything like that. This is the only social media I use. BC Backer. Follow and check out bcbacker.com. And guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll check in with you later. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a great weekend.